In this presentation, we explore the intricate interplay between one's spiritual journey and the unpredictable consequences of the choices made along that path. The narrative we share delves into the duality of life, the yearning for a transcendent love, and the unforeseen challenges that accompany an openness to the spirit realm. This exploration is not a casual recounting, but a meticulous examination of the events that have shaped a unique, oft-misunderstood life experience. The discussion emphasizes that even when guided by entities known as spirit guides, psychic mediums, and guardian angels, the influence on human existence remains bounded by the inalienable principle of free will. The events that unfold in life are neither solely divinely orchestrated nor entirely the product of one's deliberate decisions. Rather, they are the outcomes of complex interactions between pre-life intentions and the experiential learning afforded by the physical world. The discourse herein is intended to provide clarity and context to a series of profound life events and personal revelations that have been met with scrutiny by both friends and foes alike. At its core, the narrative addresses the inquiry: did I choose this? It is a question that resonates with many who have embarked on the quest for love, enlightenment, or personal transformation. The questions asked were about love that was hoped to be free of prior constraints and nurtured by benevolent spiritual encounters. However, reality rendered a scenario wherein negative incidences emerged alongside anticipated blessings. Through this presentation, we analyze the delicate interplay between destiny and free will, as well as the consequences of opening oneself to realms beyond the ordinary. This journey is expressed through a reflective discourse that acknowledges both the humility of imperfection and a commitment to personal accountability. Our focus remains on presenting these experiences in a manner that is comprehensive, yet respectful of the complexity inherent in both spiritual and personal dimensions. We invite viewers to consider the multiple facets of a life that, despite facing severe challenges such as cyberbullying and familial discord, continues to be driven by a desire for growth, understanding, and balance between spiritual insight and earthly responsibilities. The narrative of one's existence often originates long before the physical arrival on this planet. In this detailed account, we uncover the idea that pre-incarnational choices and predetermined events set the stage for the experiences that follow. This background encompasses an unconsciously chosen journey, a pathway influenced by past incarnations and metaphysical contracts established in realms beyond ordinary perception. In seeking a love unparalleled in its depth, the seeker intended to embrace a union that transcended mundane encounters and ordinary relationships. Yet, even with intentions forged in a higher reality, the earthly experience revealed complexities unforeseen at the time. From the outset, the individual was influenced by significant spiritual forces. Interaction with psychic mediums, consultations with the spirit guides, and the comforting presence of guardian angels shaped the early beliefs and decisions. These influences, while intended to guide towards benevolence and enlightenment, were met with life events that unveiled darker, more challenging facets of existence. Despite clear advice from those believed to have access to higher truths, the final unfolding of events betrayed the initial expectations of a seamless spiritual ascent. A reflective understanding emerges that while the intent was to secure a connection filled with profound love, the subsequent chain of negative experiences was not a deviation from fate, but rather an integral part of the experiential learning intended for this lifetime. Responsibility was shared between choices made consciously as well as those circumstances precipitated by factors outside complete control. The pursuit of a transcendent love set the stage for an exploration into the spiritual realm. This journey was not embarked upon lightly. Rather, it was driven by an earnest desire to experience a connection that had remained elusive, an affection so profound that it promised to eclipse ordinary relational dynamics. The decision to open oneself to the spirit world represented both an invitation and an experiment in vulnerability. It was a leap of faith compounded by the hope that positive energies would prevail over the inherent uncertainties of human existence. A significant catalyst for this journey was the consultation with spiritual practitioners and psychic mediums who provided insights into realms often uncharted by the average consciousness. Their words, imbued with the gravity of esoteric truth, painted a picture of a destiny intertwined with both luminous possibilities and daunting challenges. The seeker hoped that these spiritual mentors would illuminate a direction, yielding a path toward what was envisioned as pure, loving communion, transcending the ordinary parameters of daily life. Yet, with every step taken towards embracing a higher form of love, there arose complex interactions with energies that proved to be less benign than anticipated. As the journey progressed, encounters with various spiritual entities became more frequent. Spirit guides, whose role is traditionally associated with protection and enlightenment, offered counsel that underlined the significance of free will in shaping one's path. With every message received, the reality of personal responsibility became increasingly evident. The experiences, though initially perceived as confirmations of a benevolent spiritual blueprint, gradually unveiled layers of consequence unforeseen by even the most profound prophecies. This duality between aspiration and outcome is a common thread in the tapestry of life. It reflects a universal truth that love, while a powerful force, is often accompanied by trials that challenge the very ideal it seeks to manifest. Setting a formal tone, this account does not shy away from acknowledging that the process of seeking a soulful union may inadvertently attract adverse situations. The interplay between the intended manifestation of love and the actuality of encountering disruptive negative energies underscores an essential paradox. In embracing the spirit world, the individual acknowledges that control is relinquished to the forces of karma and destiny, factors that, despite guidance, can result in both illumination and unforeseen adversity. In the course of the journey toward experiencing sublime love and spiritual fulfillment, an unexpected descent into the realm of negativity occurred. This chapter of experience is marked not by the absence of light, but by the intrusive presence of shadows, specifically incidents of cyberbullying, online harassment, and emotional strife that reverberated profoundly within personal and familial relationships. What began as an earnest exploration of spiritual openness eventually became fraught with confrontations that blurred the lines between the spiritual and the digital realms. The modern age has amplified the reach and impact of interpersonal violence manifested in virtual spaces. The individual's experiences, encompassing cynical public reactions and sustained cyber harassment, serve as an illustration of how vulnerability in sharing personal spiritual insights can lead to unforeseen dissemination of personal details. In an environment where words travel rapidly and perceptions are amplified by digital connectivity, what was meant to be an honest declaration of personal evolution was instead met with negativity and hostility. Even more disheartening was the unfortunate betrayal by those closest, a child whose disassociation and subsequent harsh critique intensified the feelings of isolation and misunderstanding. This segment of the journey illustrates the paradox wherein the courageous act of expressing one's inner truth, in an attempt to break conventional molds, simultaneously invites the dark undercurrents associated with public exposure. The online realm, while offering opportunities for connection and enlightenment, also exposes individuals to malicious scrutiny. Disapproval, doxing, and relentless cyberbullying became intertwined with the search for spiritual truth, creating a complex narrative of love sought and adversity met. Faced with these challenges, the individual reasserts that the emergence of these negative experiences was never a deliberate choice. The repercussions of seeking an unfettered connection with the spirit world underscored a poignant lesson: that the energies of negativity coexist with benevolent forces. This coexistence, though not desired, necessitates an understanding that spiritual quests are never without their risks. Ultimately, this account lays bare the vulnerability inherent in meaningful spiritual exploration. It reaffirms that while positive guidance may be present, it does not eliminate the potential for disruptive influences, a reality that must be faced with resilience, self-awareness, and a continual quest for balance between the seen and unseen realms. An integral aspect of this narrative is the thorough examination of personal responsibility in light of the events that have transpired. In reflecting on the passage of time and the outcomes of numerous choices, it becomes clear that the journey is marked by a duality between intention and consequence. While the decision to seek a spiritual love was made with the expectation of positive revelations, it was not accompanied by a full comprehension of the potential outcomes. The understanding that every decision, however well-intentioned, carries inherent risks is central to the acknowledgement of personal accountability. This reflection extends to the recognition that while one's actions have contributed to certain experiences, they cannot be solely responsible for the choices made by others or for external events beyond personal control. The elemental law of free will, one that even spirit guides endorse, ensures that each individual is responsible for their path. The consequences that emerged from online harassment to estrangement within family circles are not simplistically attributable to a single actor. Rather, they form a confluence of factors where intent and external influence intersect. The narrative recognizes that personal imperfections and the errors in judgment are part of a broader tapestry that includes unexpected external reactions. Accountability, therefore, is embraced not as a means of self-reproach, but as a necessary step towards deeper understanding and eventual personal transformation. Accepting responsibility for one's actions while separating them from the consequential behaviors of others provides a balanced view of the interplay between fate and free will. This measured introspection ultimately underscores the resilience required in navigating the complexities of life, a journey where learning from missteps is as valuable as celebrating moments of insight and clarity. Family relationships, with their inherent complexities, have played a significant role in shaping the experiences detailed in this narrative. The influence of familial interactions reaches deep into the core of personal identity, affecting not only one's sense of self, but also the way in which life's challenges are perceived and managed. In recounting these experiences, it is necessary to address the ways in which family dynamics have both contributed to and complicated the journey through life. Strained interactions and unresolved tensions have surfaced, particularly in cases where past traumas have left lasting imprints. The relationship with one's children, for instance, is depicted as a source of intense emotional conflict. The experience of being disowned by a child, coupled with the pain of witnessing that same child suffer under external abuses, serves to underscore a painful irony. Here, personal grievances intersect with a larger narrative of generational dysfunction, where cycles of neglect and miscommunication persist despite the desire for reconciliation. In parallel, the narrative touches upon the impact of parental shortcomings experienced during early childhood. The failure of one's own parents to provide adequate guidance laid the groundwork for many of the challenges encountered later in life. These early deficits in parental support have had a discernible influence on one's own capacity to serve as an effective role model. Consequently, current difficulties in parenting are viewed not as isolated failures, but as manifestations of long-standing generational patterns that continue to affect contemporary relationships. The interplay of inherited emotional patterns and the burden of personal accountability emerges as a key theme. Despite the challenges, there exists an enduring commitment to breaking free from destructive cycles and forging a healthier, more balanced future. Relationships, marked by both tender moments of genuine connection and instances of profound betrayal, reflect the tumultuous nature of life itself. This section of the narrative calls for a compassionate understanding of familial shortcomings while emphasizing the need for personal growth and the pursuit of resolution. The struggle to reconcile past influences with the desire for a brighter future remains at the heart of the quest for spiritual fulfillment, illustrating that overcoming personal and familial adversity is an essential part of the journey. A critical examination of life reveals that cycles of adversity and unresolved conflict are frequently passed down through generations. It is observed that early experiences, especially those involving deficient parental guidance in childhood, contribute significantly to the perpetuation of negative behaviors and dysfunctional relationships. Such generational curses impose a heavy burden on those seeking to establish a different path, one free from the repetition of historical shortcomings. In acknowledging these patterns, it becomes evident that recognition is the first step towards change. The journey to break these cycles requires both an honest assessment of inherited dynamics and a proactive commitment to altering harmful behaviors. While the weight of generational influence is undeniable, it does not dictate an immutable destiny. Instead, every conscious choice made in the present is an opportunity to defy a predictable outcome and create a new legacy for future generations. This section serves as a succinct yet potent reminder that while one may not have chosen these formative influences, one retains the power to redefine the future. Embracing self-awareness and striving for personal evolution, the narrative makes a compelling argument for the possibility of breaking free from long-held, destructive patterns. In concluding this detailed exploration of a multifaceted life journey, we arrive at a synthesis of the themes of love, spiritual exploration, and personal responsibility. The narrative has traversed the peaks of seeking transcendent love through spiritual means, the valleys of unexpected negativity, and the complexities of familial dynamics that have left indelible marks upon the soul. At its essence, the story is one of reconciliation between the lofty aspirations held at the outset and the harsher realities that unfolded over time. The constant presence of karma and the influence of free will emerge as decisive factors in shaping destiny. Each choice, whether consciously made or subtly influenced by unseen spiritual forces, contributes to the evolving landscape of one's existence. The journey emphasizes that while guidance from psychic mediums, spirit guides, and guardian angels may direct the course of life, they do so without infringing upon an individual's capacity to choose. This delicate balance between fate and free will remains central to understanding the outcomes experienced. Furthermore, this accounts to refute mislabeled characterizations by asserting that one who has faced overwhelming challenges is not by default condemned to labels such as psychopath, groomer, or cult leader. The narrative underscores that while questionable choices may have been made, they are reflective only of a broader human struggle for balance and growth. Ultimately, the lessons learned from these experiences, ranging from the perils of public exposure to the importance of breaking destructive familial cycles, affirm that personal evolution is an ongoing process. The responsibility for one's actions rests solely on the individual, and it is through reflection, accountability, and a commitment to change that a new chapter may be written. This conclusion, steeped in both philosophical insight and practical acknowledgement of life's inherent complexities, invites a reflective pause on the unyielding interplay of karma, free will, and the relentless pursuit of inner growth.